Okay, welcome back to another video. You're looking at my wall. That's my Rock Band fake fender. Very nice, huh? And over there we have some movies or something on a table. Before we get into this video, we are going to do my SNES collection sans one game, and I feel bad about that. I really do. But let's take a little look around here. This is the TV we play games on here in my house. It's Curtis. I don't know what that's worth, but over here you can see my PlayStation 3, and there's the SNES. The reason I'm getting up is to show you the SNES. I do own a Super Nintendo Mini SNES 101, I guess. I don't know why this Ready Crust top was up there, but anyway, Super Nintendo Mini. I have this lovely aftermarket Interact control pad. Lots of stickers on the back. This one's weird because I don't know how well you can see it on the video, but there are those raised backs right there. Feels a little weird in the hand. Plus the buttons, as you can see, beyond being a different color, are also a different shape. Weird. Here is, well, I say that. Where is? Aha! It's on the floor. That's not a safe place for any controller. My Super Nintendo Mini controlling device. As you can see, there's some differences. If you own a regular SNES, you'll note that here, this says Nintendo as opposed to Super Nintendo. And on the back here, we get both, let's see if we can zoom in a little closer here. We get both. It's an SNES 102. We get Super Famicom. Come on, phone, work with me. I got a gripe for high-def cell phones later. Super Famicom and Nintendo, both labeled on the controller. So a little bit of difference there, but they do still have what I like, the concave buttons. You can see that there. Concave buttons on top for the X and Y, convex buttons for the A and B, whereas this aftermarket crappy controller does not. But I do like the color of the aftermarket controller, very reminiscent of the PAL controller, the European. Also, up on the wall, Star Wars, right above the mantle and the stockings. Now let's come over here and have a sit down again. There's the TV. We're currently playing NCAA 14, and apparently I've lost my connection now. Let's see if I can get situated. I'm going to try and help the previously terrible situation with the camera. I've got something to lean the iPhone on, and that's where my gripe and big complaint about cell phones comes into play today, because I really don't think you should sell anything with a high-definition camera on it if you can't, sell it with an accessory, or sell an accessory that turns it into some sort of standing phone type device. Right now, as you probably saw on our way over here, I've got the phone standing on, let's see, we got Batman Returns there, Varsity Blues, the original X-Men, and the one in the middle that's turned the wrong way is Batman, Michael Keaton's first Batman. And then, this is lovely, Berry Blue Jello is my lean-to for the phone. Now, that just should not be. Apple's smarter than this. They can do better. Alright, let's get into the actual gaming part of the video today. We'll start off with a game that I acquired real recently. You guys may have seen the unboxing for this. If not, be sure and check it out. It is Tetris Attacks for the Super Nintendo. This game, I would recommend you, unless you're just a complete collector. I got it in a lot, I guess. I bought 4 games, really just to get 1 or 2, I think, and somehow wound up with this lovely copy of Tetris Attacks. It's got a lot of background characters from Yoshi's Island, as kind of the, where all these little blocks are on the screen. Behind that, you'll see pictures of like the rabid dog or whatever the heck they call that character. It's basically a weird form of Tetris. your job, as you can see right here, is to match up the blocks. You can only move them laterally, left to right. You cannot move them up and down, so that creates some frustration level with this game. Also, just really not that good of gameplay, I didn't think, but it is a nice time eater, you know, for what it is, and it's got a fun little multiplayer game. So I have it. It's not exactly one that I'm gonna tell people I have, other than this video, but I do have it. This is, by the way, my game collection, as I said, my Super Nintendo game collection, minus one game, which is in my my bedroom where my girlfriend is sleeping. And as much as I like you guys and I want you to see my videos, I'm not going to go in there and wake her up just to get a copy of a game that, honestly, we can probably all do without. This is Super Star Wars. Picked this one up at a local reseller just up the road a little bit in Nashville at McKay's bookstore. And super excited to have this one. It is very hard. This game, I've played it on easy and I've played it on normal. Normal kicks my butt, and easy is tolerable. If you want to get through the game, I would recommend easy. It's not impossible on hard, it's just I haven't gotten very far. There's a lot of platforming with this game, and that leads to some of the difficulty, I guess. I like it because it's Star Wars and it's far better than what you got on the Game Boy or the original Nintendo. So, excuse me, I'm got a little bit of a sore throat, so I'll be drinking a couple times in the video, and I apologize. But if you're a Star Wars fan, pick this up. I've got some schmutz on it. I don't know what that is. I need to get it cleaned off. That is another one that I've picked up since I got my Super Nintendo. This next game, very excited about. It was part of that lot that I mentioned. I was actually buying the lot to get Star Fox, which I'll have on here in a few minutes, but I had already bought a copy of Star Fox at McKay's, so I wound up with two. I just sold one of them. I'll be shipping that out tomorrow. But in the lot that I won on eBay was this game, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers by Bandai for the SNES. And as you can see here, this is the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game for the SNES. It not the movie, so it has just the 5 Power Rangers here. Yellow, blue, red, pink, and black. If you're looking for the Green Ranger or the White Ranger, they are not here. Now, I like this game. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up style game, and it's got a lot of baddies that you'll recognize if you watched the show as a kid, which was out about the same time as the Super Nintendo, obviously. It's got some interesting attributes. For example, the Blue Ranger is Billy. He was a nerd, so they kind of make him, when he's not morphed, look like a bit of a wimp, like he ducks and accidentally punches things. However, I happen to find that to be some intriguing gameplay, so I liked it. My one big gripe, you see the Red Ranger here? Imagine him in all 5 of the colors, because that's what you get. They don't take the time to make it unique to the Blue Ranger, the Pink Ranger, the Black Ranger, and the Yellow Ranger. You just get an original model of the Red Ranger, and then if you pick the other ones, he changes colors. The Pink Ranger is more of a washed out red, but they all, you can kind of tell, have that same helmet style. They do get a different specialty attack, which is, it's basically a bomb is what they call it on there. They all their specialty attacks do a little bit different thing. And the Pink Ranger, for example, her weapon is obviously the bow and arrow. She can actually shoot arrows, which is fun. I mean, that adds a little extra something to it. But when I first noticed that they were all remodels of the Red Ranger or Tyranno Ranger, however you want to call him, was whenever I played as the Pink Ranger for the first time, and I noticed she didn't have a skirt, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute. These guys, these sneaky dudes, they've just redressed the Red Ranger 4 times. And that's what they did. So, it is what it is. You know, you have a hard time dealing with stuff like that as a gamer, but what can we expect? It's a licensed game. This is Acclaim's NBA Jam. This is the tournament edition, hence the little TE down here. You can play through against all the teams in the NBA in '93. No Jordan in this game. This is when he was playing, I think it was '93. Anyway, this was when he was playing baseball. What a debacle that was. Pick this game up. I'm going to get the original NBA, or not the original. I guess NBA Jam minus the TE. I'm going to get that one as well because I think, I could be wrong, somebody correct me in the comments below, but I think that one has Jordan in it. Really want Michael Jordan. I don't think this is even a game if you've got Michael Jordan in it because, well, he's going to be better than everybody. You really want this game for the multiplayer. Yeah, the tournament mode's great, you know, play through all the league teams, whatever. But playing against each other with those super, super awesome dunks is what really makes that game, and that was a fun one to pick up. I got that one also in the wild here at McKay's, so I got a handful of pickups from McKay's. This one came as part of the lot that I talked about earlier when I was trying to get Star Fox Stunt Race FX. It does have the FX chip, which, as you can see here on the bottom, means the extra pins. All that means is it can show you polygons, however, it plays like crap. The cars are hard to control, they're boxy, they slide all over the place, just nothing really positive about the way this game works. And all in all, if you can go get F-Zero, much better racing game. I'm sure there are a bunch. I haven't come across a ton of racing games that I'm willing to pick up, but F-Zero is a good example of one that would be tons better than Stunt Race FX. It's not a bad game, it's just not a good game either. Out of that same lot, of course, we picked up this one, Star Fox, also with the FX chip. I don't know why, but I always feel the need to show that. I do have 2 copies. As I said, I'm getting rid of one. Okay, Stunt Race has got to go somewhere else. That's really screwing up my shot over here. Star Fox, as we all know, is a really landmark game. It had those polygon fighters, and we all hate Slippy, and you know, I enjoyed playing through this. I like the fact that there were 3 paths, an easy, a medium, and a difficult. I like the graphical style, even though I don't feel like it really holds up that well today, but I can still sit down and play it. Really enjoy Star Fox. The one complaint I have, and I wish I had booted up the second copy on the TV where I could show you, the one complaint I have is that Star Fox puts bars. Like, imagine if this were our Star Fox screen up there on my TV, and the gray area right here, there would be those bars all the way around, like a couple inches up there on my screen of black. It shrinks the screen. I don't know why. You would think of all the games, this one has the FX chip, you would think of all the games that you could play, that would be the last one that would do it. Stunt Race doesn't do it. I haven't had another game do it. Star Fox does. Therefore, poop on Star Fox. But you gotta have Star Fox in any collection. I think that's a must. So get it. I'm so glad I got it. Disappointed whenever I sold it. I only sold it for like $4. This is Aladdin, and a licensed game by Capcom. I think they did all the Disney games, and I have a few of those in the collection down here. Aladdin is a very acrobatic guy in the movie, and I feel like they did a great job of capturing that in the game. You springboard off of stuff, you do handstands and backflips, and you swing, and you jump and flip and all that stuff running. It's all very good. It's very good gameplay if you're trying to make the point that Aladdin was extremely acrobatic, which in the movie he was. So I thought this was a really good take on the Aladdin game. It's surprising, actually, as we go through my collection here, how many times I'm going to tell you that a licensed game is good. Now, I don't have a ton of games to start out with, but of these licensed games, there will be several that are good. As I mentioned, I like the Power Rangers game, just because for a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up, it's actually pretty good. Plus, it throws in, you know, the Power Rangers. This is another licensed game, and I lied. Virgin does this one, not Capcom. It's The Lion King. If you were a fan of the Lion King movie, I think you'll like this one a lot. It's got some janky gameplay. There's a level. It's the level that coincides with the "Can't Wait to Be King" scene in the movie. It's very colorful, but it's very difficult from a standpoint of, okay, there's a hippopotamus, and you're supposed to swing on the hippopotamus's tail, but you can't. Why can't you? Because unless you just hit it spot on when you're swinging over there, you're going to fall off. I tried. I tried really hard. It just won't let me. I swung and just fell right through the tail. So there's some difficult moments in this game. There's also some really fun moments. Again, like I said, if you're a Disney fan, you enjoy the Disney franchises, get The Lion King, play through it, be very sad when Mufasa dies like we all were in the movie. That was a game that I actually got when I got my SNES. I grew up playing on this very Super Nintendo. It was my aunt's, and she was kind enough to let me have it not very long ago. So, so far of all the games I reviewed, the only ones that I got with it were Disney's Aladdin and The Lion King, and I think, for the most part, the rest of these all came with the console whenever I picked it up from her. Here is another Virgin licensed game for the SNES. It's The Jungle Book. This game is awful. This is a bad licensed game. It's difficult. It's not very topical within the movie. It's not intuitive, I guess. It's not smooth. I just did not enjoy this one at all. You could leave it off unless you're trying to get, all the Disney games, or like I've said before, a complete collection. But Mowgli has never looked worse. There are some neat things, when you die, you get taken off on a stretcher by the monkeys from the forest or from the jungle. But otherwise, just skip that one. Here's another one you can skip. I know it's one that you're gonna look at and say, well, but look at all the star power. Jim Carrey, Alicia Silverstone, Tommy Lee Jones, Val Kilmer, George Clooney. You know what? I don't even know which one it is. This is awful. This is crap. And I think right here, hold on, I'm going to take the game off the screen. It says the real game begins. Batman Forever. You know what I say? The real crap begins. This was terrible. There's a competitive mode of this game where you're playing as Batman and Robin, 2-player. While you're playing as Batman and Robin, you can hit each other. Do you know how difficult it is to get through this game when you can accidentally punch the crap out of each other? I want to be competitive maybe in points or enemies killed or something like that. I do not want to punch my friend in the face, because then they die. And when they die, I have to complete the level alone. I don't want to do that either. So I thought that was garbage. I tried to play through it the other day with, I think it was my sister of all people. We played this game a ton when we were a kid and somehow missed the fact that there was a competitive 2-player. Well, we didn't miss it this time, and we played through it, and what we wound up doing was one of us would jump over the enemies and punch them back towards the other one, and then the other one would punch them. We treated the enemies like a volleyball. Here is an actual good game. Capcom's Mega Man X started the franchise. I know X2 and X3 go for a lot more, but I got this one with the console. I love this game. Honestly, I've only played the other two on emulators, but of the three, what I do gather is that I enjoyed this one a lot more. Maybe it's a nostalgia thing. Lithium017, another great collector and YouTuber, he had a great video about, do you wear nostalgia glasses? Yep, I sure do. Sometimes I out and out wear nostalgia glasses, and I think this is a game I do that for, but really, it was the first time we could upgrade Mega Man. He could charge his weapon. He gets the different pieces, the headpiece, the X-Buster upgrade, the legs, all that stuff. He gets all the upgrades, and he becomes Supreme Chancellor of robot butt kicking. Just a fantastic game. If you've never played this, you must pick up Mega Man X. In fact, I would encourage you, if you're going to start a collection with the SNES, or if you're just going to be a casual fan and play on a Super Nintendo, pick that up immediately, right now. That's got to be like your second game out the door. You can find copies all over the place. This, sadly, is a player's choice copy, a million-seller version of Zelda: A Link to the Past. It does not in any way detract from the fact that this game is beautiful. It's awesome. I was just checking to see how many pins it had. Top down, just like the original Zelda on the NES, but in all other ways completely different. It's It's got the two worlds, the light world and the dark world, or high rule and low rule. Um, all the weapons, the hook shot. I think the hook shot at this point is legendary, right? So hard to find. I remember playing through this game, and I downloaded. I was playing through with my aunts actually, and kind of playing along as they played through. Really, more than anything when I was a kid. But they would get online and download the guide, I guess, the walkthroughs on how to even find stuff, because we'd play and play and play, and there was nothing to do because we couldn't find what we were looking for. So this game, one of the first games that I really put a lot of time into, and just love playing through this game. So much fun. Zelda: A Link to the Past, right up there with Mega Man X as a classic that you must have on this console. Gonna get into my last two games down here. This one is one that I purchased by itself on eBay. I did purchase it loose. I don't know if this version of Super Mario All-Stars was just packaged with some bundle that they did for the SNES, or if it was ever sold individually. If you do know, let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to know, because if there's a box and a guide for it, I'd love to have it. But this is Super Mario All-Stars and Super Mario World. So inside of it, you get the original Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels, which were only released in Japan, and Thumb Super Mario World. I have enjoyed the heck out of this one. My girlfriend had never played the original Super Mario Brothers, so I've kind of tried to introduce her to those through this game, as opposed to waiting until I rebuy a SNES. But the dress up for this, if you don't know, they clean the game up and make them ready for 16 bits. They make them look great. I think that's awesome. The only thing that I did miss was, if you remember in Super Mario Brothers 3, you could jump on top of a white block in the background and hold the down button, and you would slip behind the screen, and you could run all the way across, and the bad guys couldn't touch you because you were technically playing in the background. It was a really neat glitch. They took that out for this one, so that was disappointing. But otherwise, the games hold up so well. I've had a ton of fun. I'm going to do a video at some point of me trying to play through the Lost Levels. That game is so hard. I can't wait to get that video up and let you guys see some of the rants that I've gone on. I'm convinced that that game was built just to kick my butt. And then of course, Super Mario World. I had never played Super Mario World before, and I really enjoy it. It was the launch for this console, and a lot of fun to play through that when you're introduced to Yoshi and all of that. So Super Mario All-Stars plus Super Mario World. Like I said, if you know it, there's a box and a guide or a booklet for that. I'd love to get a hold of those. So if that exists, please let me know down in the comments below. And then last but not least, the game that came with, and I don't mean when I got it, but originally came with the Super Nintendo up there, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, completely flipped the franchise, I get, not really the franchise, but flipped the Super Mario World game on its head. You're now Baby Mario, as you can see here, little Baby Mario, playing on the back of Yoshi. It's really a Yoshi game, but it completely different concept and a ton of fun, and it is an FX chip game. It's got the extra pins there. Beautiful game too. It was one of the first games that I remember really having like foreground, playing level, and background objects in it. I thought that was great, the way that there was stuff popping up all the way in the foreground. So this is another one of those must-haves. There are a few games in here, Power Rangers, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, Super Star Wars, Tetris Attack, all the Disney games. Some of those games are iffy. You don't have to have those. They're more preferential things, or things that I have just because they came with the collection. But I would say absolutely you have to have Star Fox, Mega Man X. I would recommend getting Super Mario All-Stars, but also Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island, and Legend of Zelda. Those 5 games, I think, are must-haves, and games that, for me, are kind of the the epitome of my collection. They're the tops on my collection, and you know, I'm gonna keep buying. The one game that I did leave out was the last game ever made for the Super Nintendo. That's Frogger, made I believe in 1998. And I also didn't get out my my boxes and guides that I have for some of these. I have the guide for Legend of Zelda. I've got to look for the box. I have the boxes though for Batman Forever with the guide, the Jungle Book, Lion King, Aladdin, Mega Man X. I have all those with boxes and guides up there in the case that you can kind of see in the, let's see, the background over here. That's a dresser. It's full of PS3 games, NES games, and then it has all the boxes for these. So I display them without the boxes. I just set them up there next to the Super Nintendo, kind of with 2 or 3 of them out in front where people can see them. The rest of them just kind of stacked up in the back. So hopefully the collection grows, and I am going to start doing some reviews. I want to do reviews really bad. I've just got to get a capture card where I can pump the Super Nintendo straight into the computer. I don't want to do emulator reviews. I just think that's a cheap way to go about things. So we'll start doing some reviews, hopefully maybe after the first of the year. For now though, we'll just run down some games, and I am going to get that reaction video, I guess you could say, or that play along video of me going through the lost levels. That one is a lot of fun. That's one that I'm working on getting up for you guys in the next couple of weeks. So be sure you check back for that. Please like and subscribe. I would love to have some more subscribers. I think I'm at like 18 or 19 right now. So please subscribe, like, comment down below. Like I said, lots of questions I had in this video. So comment and let me know what you think. And until next time, I think next time I'm going to try and do my PS3 collection. I got to round them all up. They're all over the house. But I'm going to do my PS3 collection at some point. If not that, then we'll get the Lost Levels video up. But thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. And until next time, keep gaming, keep collecting, and keep watching.